Okay, so today we're going to talk about transversals. In order to know what a transversal is or how to use it, you have to remember what a linear pair is. Remember that a linear pair is angles that are adjacent and supplementary. Okay? So for instance, in this picture, 4 and 3 are linear pairs. 1 and 2 are linear pairs. 5 and 7 are linear pairs. Vertical angles are across from each other and they are congruent. So 1 and 3 are vertical. 4 and 2 are vertical. 5 and 8 are vertical. Okay? Transversals. So these are two lines. They look parallel, but we don't know for sure. And so we use transversals as a tool to figure out whether these lines are actually parallel. So you can't see it, but it says a transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. So this line right here, line T, is intersecting R and S. Here's my point of intersection. Here's my point of intersection. Okay. Notice that the yellow here is the interior, which means it's inside these two lines. That's going to be very important when we move on to the next slide. Outside of these two lines is called the exterior. So when I identify the transversals here, I have two lines and I have one that is crossing it. Here I have two lines and one that is crossing it. Here I have two lines and one that is crossing it. Okay? A transversal here in this diagram right here, it's going to be line C. I have two lines A and B, and this line C is cutting across. Now, how can we make the two red lines parallel if we know that this angle is 72, this angle is 64? What would we have to change to make these two red lines parallel? We'd have to make these two angles congruent. So you notice how these two are different, so they're not parallel, and these two are the same, so they are parallel. Are the orange lines parallel? Yes or no? Yes, because these two angles are equal. Are these orange lines parallel? No. These lines are parallel. Yes, because they are congruent angles here. Now, two angles are corresponding angles if they lie on the same side of the transversal and have corresponding positions. What that's saying is that if I have a transversal, then angle here and here are corresponding, right? Here, 64 is corresponding to 64. Now, if I know these red lines are parallel, because these two angles are equal, I have a theorem that says if corresponding angles are congruent, then the two lines are parallel. So can you find the other angle measures if I only knew that this is 120? Yes, I could, because I know what corresponding means. Right? I know what vertical means. And I know what a linear pair is. So I found every single angle in this picture just by starting at 120. Okay? Now you'll notice that these are a linear pair. These are a linear pair. These are a linear pair, right? But I hope you notice that these are supplementary. These are supplementary. The outside is supplementary, okay? If two lines are parallel, corresponding angles are congruent. Are the orange lines parallel? Well, let's fill in everything we know. This is 80, this is 80. If that's 80, this is 80. Well, these two are a linear pair, and that does equal 180. So yes, this is parallel. Here I have 105, but I don't have 105 here, which I'm supposed to have, right? Because corresponding angles are supposed to be equal. So this is not parallel. Here, if I have 100 degrees, my corresponding angle should be 100 degrees, which my vertical angles should be 100 degrees. These are supposed to be a linear pair, but they're not. So these are not. Well, I can already see, hey, these are supplementary. If I wanted to do these vertical angles, these are supplementary. So yes, these are parallel. 100 is my vertical angle, and 100 is my corresponding angle. So these are parallel. Two angles that are alternate interior angles lie between two lines on opposite sides of the transversal. 4 and 5 are alternate. They're on different sides of the transversal. They're inside the two lines, so they are alternate interior. Now, here's a trick. Alternate usually means congruent. Keep that in mind, okay? Alternate interior angles. This is alternate interior with that. So if the lines are parallel, then I know alternate interior angles are congruent. Alternate exterior, outside the two lines, alternate of the transversal. Okay? So if they are alternate, then the exterior angles should be congruent. See that trick I taught you earlier? Comes in handy. Now, same side interior or consecutive is the word they use a lot. 3 and 5 are consecutive interior angles, so usually same side or consecutive means supplementary. Okay? Here, if this one was 120, my same side interior should be 60. Or, well, it doesn't look like it. We'll start over. This is 60, and this is 120. Okay? So this should be supplementary. Same side exterior. Same side of the transversal outside these two lines, so they should be supplementary if the lines are parallel. Supplementary. Okay? Alternate interior angles, alternate exterior. We went through all these. Okay? You'll notice that alternate exterior was supposed to be congruent if they are parallel. So are these parallel? No. Are these parallel? Alternate interior angles are supposed to be congruent, so they are not. Corresponding angles are supposed to be equal, but they're not here. Consecutive interior angles are supposed to be supplementary, but they're not. So none of these are parallel. When you look at these pictures, they should meet every criteria, which they do. Okay? Take a look at that. Okay, corresponding angles here, I have 1 is corresponding to 5, 2 is corresponding to 6, 3 is corresponding to 7, 4 is corresponding to 8. Alternate interior, 4 is alternate interior with 5, 2 is alternate interior with 7, alternate exterior, 3 and 6, 1 and 8. Consecutive interior, which is 4 and 7, 2 and 5. Okay. Now 3 and 5 are consecutive, consecutive interior. 4 and 8 are corresponding. 2 and 9 are, well, nothing. 8 and 12, where are they? Alternate interior. And 5 and 11 are consecutive exterior. Okay. And that's a lot of more practice for identifying alternate interior, alternate exterior, corresponding consecutive exterior.